Hello, welcome back. I'm not so happy with the setup. It looks very pale and not as joyful as the other one, I feel like. But the light is better. And I'm not so sure about this outfit. This is like new and I'm not used to wearing. They're not even shoulder pads. I took them out, but they still look very like shoulder paddy. Yeah, we'll just flow with it and then see how it goes. Anyway, hello and welcome to this lesson from depression. Yeah, I mean, if you're new here, I'm writing a book on the lessons that I learned from depression in the last years, and I started making those videos so that I could kind of find my flow of expressing myself, and it's been really helping. Because before I was scared and really wondering like how to say it and really insecure about just like expressing myself, and making those videos really helped me to just become more have more ease in expressing myself. And because when the video is on, you can't really stop, you just have to continue. I mean, you can pause, of course, but yeah, there's kind of like a positive pressure, I would say, when I'm being filmed, to just find words, even if they're not perfect, and to just say to say it however it's on my mind. And it's been really helping me with writing the book. And I shared the videos to kind of take you along this process of mine, and maybe to show a little bit that you don't have to be you don't have to feel like you have everything figured out before you start something or share something or do something. And I'm guessing this has also been my takeaway from this experience so far. Sorry, I'm really thirsty. Yeah, and so far I've talked about 10 lessons. There are 22 in total, and I even wrote down some more, but I kind of narrowed it down to 22 for the book. And yeah, sometimes I'm unsure if like they are the right ones, but I think in the end it's just good to go through them, and I will see. I will figure out how to write it. But so far I'm really happy with the lessons, and the writing is going well as well. So thank you for being here and coming along this journey with me. And I changed the music. We have Spotify music now, like a playlist, because I learned that it's allowed to have music like that on videos. So that's why there's no more like piano playing. Sorry, this is really random, but like usually I have it on my phone and like play it through the speakers. But my phone at the moment, like the battery died, and my charger is not working anymore, so I can't play it. And then I kind of switched to my laptop and the speakers, and I'm now streaming for Spotify. So there's always a solution somehow. Okay. I would say that depression really changed me so much as a person, and it's really like something that, or in my experience, it took a long time to integrate all the things that I kind of learned or understood about myself in that time of depression. Because I mean, for me, it really changed my whole view on myself, and how I don't know, interact with life, how I experience certain things, and how I make sense of things. And so it really it took a long time to integrate all of that into every aspect of my life. Sorry. Yeah, and that's why it's also helping me so much to talk about those lessons and to reflect, because it's really kind of helping me to understand how much it has changed me into kind of, yeah, it makes the transition for me easier to kind of get out of depression. And I mean, it's never like, okay, and now you're depressed and now you're well again. Like it's, or from my experience, it's really like a process, and then like, yeah, it's really a process, and not like I think like any form of healing from something, like it's not like there's one split and then starts the next chapter. It's really like, yeah, overflowing into each part. I don't know if that makes sense. Like here the seasons are changing, like it's winter is coming now, and I was on a walk yesterday, and like you can still see some of the colorful leaves, and yeah, there's still some green on some trees, and so there's kind of still a sense of, okay, there was fall, and it's still a little bit present, but at the same time the air is really crisp now, and it was even snowing a little yesterday, and so like the winter, it's coming, and it's like the seasons are really changing, and at the same time there's still some residue from the last season, and it's like morphing into another one. So that's how I feel with depression. It's really something it shaped me, and it's really always going to be somewhat present in me, I would say, like the experience for sure, and yeah, at the same time coming out of it, like there is a new season now, I feel like. It's a very elaborate way of saying that yeah, depression is a phase, and also it's something that doesn't have clear lines of when it starts and when it ends. I think a lot of people would say that who have experienced depression. So the lesson number 11 that I wrote down that I want to talk about today is, it says, "Today is all that I got, so let me make it as beautiful as possible." Today is all that I got, so let me make it as beautiful as possible. Okay, so all that I got. And when I read it, like I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I was reading it like in preparation for the video. I don't prepare a lot, like I just feel like it's more like stream of consciousness talking here. But I was getting a little insecure and thinking, is this really so necessary to talk about this, and isn't what like the essence of the lesson, isn't that already in so many other lessons that I talked about before? And maybe it is, and at the same time now I think it's worthy to talk about this one as well. And the reason being is that when I was in the midst of depression, which is so vast and like has so many facets, I can't really like pinpoint it down to one thing or one experience. That's why I didn't call it that when I was in it at all, because it felt so like diminishing of my experience. But maybe one big common factor, or one thing that I was experiencing for a long time, is like really physical pain in my heart. And not only pain, but also like this like black hole or like darkness or loneliness that was really sucking a lot of my energy out of me. Or that's how it felt like. And then of course there were so many other things, like so much anxiety and insecurity, and I think like I felt so vulnerable, so raw and open, and so overwhelmed, like so many things. And so yeah, I feel like this is something really beautiful that I got from that, because when you're in such a state of I wouldn't call it survival, but like when you're feeling like, when you're just looking for some kind of relief from all of that, or that's how I felt, like I was struggling so much and I was just looking for some relief, then of course it makes sense, and it's the best approach, or the easiest approach to just look for, okay, what can I do right now? What can I do today to make it a little bit better, instead of like planning ahead and making elaborate elaborate plans for the future. Like when it's all about, okay, how can I, when you feel like how can I survive this day, because it feels so impossible to go through like a normal day with all of that that's going on, then the only solutions are like small solutions, of course, and like very like practical things, like okay, what can I do right now to feel a little bit better, or to give me a sense of relief. And I mean, having to do this day after day after day after day for years, of course, like it becomes kind of like a habit of really being aware of, okay, today is the day that I can change something to get some relief or to feel a little bit better, and like in the continuation of doing that, like then slowly to realize, wow, I can actually change my experience by how I do something, how I see something, how I go about my day, and make it even not only bring myself relief, but actually make it more beautiful than I thought was possible, maybe for like in the morning. Sorry. So for me, that's been a huge blessing, and for me, someone who used to be so stuck in her head, like I'm someone, it's very easy for me to have a lot of ideas and big visions, and I was really in my head, so like growing up, and I think it was safer for me that way. Like I was really, really disconnected from my body, and I think that's, depression was kind of like forcing me to get back in touch with my body, I think, because it was really like screaming at me, listen to me and slow down and stop being up here only. And so it was like constantly like ringing the alarm bell, like which I couldn't avoid at all. Like there was no chance to do anything besides like focusing on this stuff that was going on in here and trying to find some relief. And so I did, like I had to, like I remember, so like every morning I would wake up and instantly this pain and this tension and loneliness and just dark thing in my chest would like be there. And in the morning, for me, in the morning usually it was the worst. And then it was there, and it felt so heavy and so draining. I was like, how can I manage to get up? And of course, if there's something that's so consuming your attention so much and your energy, I feel like that like I said, that's the only way to kind of go, like to find some relief, is to find solutions in the moment. And and I feel like over time it really became a habit, or of course it became a habit because I was forced to, like to really, when I wake up, to feel into, okay, how are you feeling, and what do you need, and really to name, and to maybe not out loud but in my head, like to name, okay, I'm feeling like this, or like, I don't know, my back is hurting a little bit, or like my feet feel a little tingly, or like whatever. And it's so interesting because before the depression years, like I wasn't aware of it, but I would wake up and be in my head right away, like thinking of things, and I'm still like, it's still like this, like I still think when I wake up like certain things, but I'm really aware of, okay, like I'm thinking and also I'm feeling what's happening in my body. And it wasn't like that at all. So in a way, I feel like this it's such a, like, I don't know, I feel like it's such a blessing, even though it was so challenging. Like, it really was something that really, like, depression was really something that brought me back into my body and back to what is actually happening right now, right here. And yeah, and helped me to kind of find a balance between those big ideas and things I wanted to do, or like, yeah, visions that I had, like to balance that with my actual life experience right now and what I need right now. Yeah, and I think because I come from a family that's really action oriented and like doing things and making plans, and just based on how my family is, or yeah, I would say most of my family. And so it was very, very new for me to slow down like that. But I mean, I've already said that in all the other videos. Like, slowing down was like the one thing that depression forced me to do, and to really go about my days step by step instead of rushing through and just going through the motions or the things that I had learned were like normal. Like, this is what you do when you wake up and have breakfast and get ready, and like it slowed me down so much that I really had to put a lot of energy and a lot of effort into those seemingly very natural or normal things, or that I thought were normal, like yeah, making breakfast or brushing my teeth or taking a shower, getting dressed. Like, took so much effort, and at the same time I think it was really good that it was so taking so much of my energy, because like that also like gave me the opportunity or the chance to really look at those habits, and to really ask myself, do they actually align with what I want to live, or do they match my needs that I have at the moment? Like, for example, drinking coffee. Like, I made like cappuccino in the morning for so long, and even though it wasn't good for me. Like, I had panic attacks before, like when the depression started. I had panic attacks from the caffeine, because it would make my heart rate go up so much, and I would just get panic. And I think I still continue drinking like cappuccino in the morning, like just with like less caffeine, but still. And it would, of course, also make my heart really palpate. But it's just what I knew and what I liked the taste, and so I just continued. And this, depression forcing me to slow down really made me aware of all those little aspects of my day, or I don't know which products I was using, or whether I was actually present with myself while I was in the shower. Like, because I was so used to going through the motion, that when I had to really, really put a lot of effort into taking a shower, I could actually feel the water on my body and the warmth. I was like, wow. Like, I had so many moments where I thought, wow, taking a shower is so amazing, and it feels so good. It makes me feel so much better afterwards, and I love how the water feels on my skin. Like, I think that's the blessing of like when you're forced to slow down, when your body, of course you can also experience that without having a depression, like to really become aware of it. But this slowness that I didn't choose really made me so aware of all those things. And or just little things that, like my gums, like here, they were really, for a while, like I think it was 2018 or 19 when my depression was really heavy. They were really red and really swollen, and I had that before, but I never paid attention to it. And yeah, because everything was slowed down, like I noticed it and talked about it with my with my dentist, and I think with my mom as well, and we kind of figured out like it had to do with the emotional stress that I was having, and also the sugar intake, like and also when I was eating a lot of dairy, I think. And I had never drawn that like connection, and I had never, or not consciously, maybe like in a side thought, but never like I had never been really aware of it, and then I changed it, and it got better, and I like implemented a new routine of like this is so random, doing what is it called, like brushing your teeth and then doing floss, yeah, and then also like doing a mouthwash that was like really natural, and which really helped my gums to get better. Yeah, and I mean, you can get aware of all those things in your busy life as well, but I think it really, yeah, slowing down really drew my attention to a lot of things that had gone unnoticed for a really long time, and which are actually really detrimental to my well-being. So that was a really, really big blessing. And well, coming back to the lesson, actually I think I grew up with this like awareness that yes, I have an influence on my life, and I can really have an impact with what I do, and I really am a participant of my life. But also I grew up being really afraid, or really avoiding my emotions and my like kind of the deeper, more difficult, more uncomfortable emotions, and had no capacity to really be present with them. And so when I had to be, because there was no avoidance possible anymore, because it was so present, I mean, there was relief because I was taking like a small amount of medication in the beginning, or in the middle of it, for a while, and that gave some kind of relief, but still it was super, super present for me. And I think in experiencing that and having to deal with it without the option to run away from it anymore, I kind of slowly learned to nurture into like that I was actually able to participate in my emotional experience positively and really impact it in a positive way, like, I don't know, write about it, talk about it, do some kind of self-soothing practice, like I don't know, just making myself a cup of tea, which would calm me down or help me, and or distract myself with something that I really enjoyed, like drawing or making music. Or watching a cool series. And I think that was something very new for me, that I was an active participant in my emotional well-being, and that I could actually influence or really have a positive impact on my emotional experience. yeah, so the more I understood that, the more I was like, okay, so I can use this so much. Like I can really do things that bring me so much joy, and with that really elevate my sadness, not elevate my sadness, but like really um yeah, bring some light and some joy and some ease and some fun and inspiration into my into a day that feels so draining and so overwhelming and so dark and sad. And so I found like ways to make my days so beautiful. Like I had a phase, it's still going on, but I had a very intense phase of like preparing food that made me feel like that, like being excited to prepare food, and then also like to make it look so nice on the plates, and like really decorating the plate very nicely, and to make it very presentable, like very beautifully presented. And that brought so much joy to me. I have no idea. Made me so happy, and I even have a folder or a photo album on my phone, an album that says like food, and I have all those pictures of the nice food that I made. And I love looking through it, just seeing the food. What else? Or I would, like, when I would go on one of the many walks that I took, I would often take pictures of like places or moments that I enjoyed so much and that made me so happy. Sometimes I would share them on Instagram. Or making music, it's something that's just, to me, is something so beautiful that brings me so much relief and so much joy and so much sense of connection and being held and acknowledged in my emotions. Like, because when I sing a song from someone who's going through heartbreak or something else, and I'm experiencing that, then I feel very validated and like, okay, I'm not alone in this, and someone else has felt this before as well. Yeah, I began like being interested in my personal style, like what I want to wear and what looks cool for me. And I mean, it had like that had been present in my life as well before, but never as consciously and as like intentionally as it was then. So I really try to, like, even though it's not super necessary, you would think, but for me it was really like my lifeline to really make, like, to really go the extra mile and makes my days every day a little bit more beautiful than the day before. Or make myself a super nice cup of hot chocolate on an afternoon where you would think, okay, that's not really necessary, but it's just those little things really lifted my spirit so much, and my emotional well-being really went up through those things. Yeah, so it was really a sense or part of, or a way of relieving my, the emotional turbulences or the drain that I was going through, and kind of finding moments of light in my day, or finding really good music like on Spotify or like randomly, and then listening to one song that I really liked for a long time, or dancing. I danced so much. Sorry, there's like so many things, but I think especially in 2000, like after I came back from the clinic, I started, because I really felt like I want to feel really comfortable in my body, that like I just wanted to feel comfortable, and to me it felt like dancing was a really good way, because when you dance you kind of loosen up your body, and and you're more free, and you really practice this like feeling free in your body and just like expressing yourself however you feel in that moment. And so I think it started like in the end of summer, fall of 2020, and then went way into 2021, and maybe last year as well, that I would so often be in my room, put on music and dance in front of my mirror and just and just like, I don't know, just move my body and really enjoy it. And I noticed like over time how much more connected I felt and how much more comfortable I felt moving my body. And yeah, I mean, it's not super necessary, it's just something that feels good and that makes also in connection with music is just the best, makes it more beautiful. And I really put a lot of intention and care. I think I've always been like this, but I noticed even more how much it helped my well-being to have like a nice home, or like in the house that I live in now, like especially my own room. Like I would spend a lot of time like rearranging things and decorating it and thinking about what I wanted in my own space and what made me feel comfortable and cozy, like, I don't know, like a comfortable blanket or plants, what colors I liked. And yeah, so that was one thing that also made my days much more beautiful, and was really like me putting an effort into creating like a life or an environment that just made me feel more uplifted and joyful. And it really often felt like going the extra mile, or feel like, is this really necessary? But then doing it anyway and noticing how good it felt. Making the effort to go outside was a big change for me too. So many little things, and those were not things that would get me to big solutions. Like in the long term, they really did, because they helped me to really feel more grounded and more calm and more connected, and really helped me to find my center, and from there be able to make bigger decisions. Or just like take steps forward towards more elaborate plans, other than, okay, what am I going to do today to feel better? But they were just simple daily things that I kind of pushed myself to, pushed myself. I mean, it was also nice, but kind of noticed were really, really important for my well-being, or my getting better, and getting a sense of home again, getting a sense of self back, or a sense of calm, which is like all that you're looking for, or from my experience, what I was looking for when I was feeling there was so much going on, and there was always this tension and chaos in me, and so that's a big lesson, and I think everyone can do this in their lives, even like if you're not like, you don't have to be depressed to make your days more beautiful and bring more of the things that bring you joy into your day-to-day life. It just felt like in my depression time, it was like really like I said, kind of lifeline, like something that was so needed, and so I was so desperate for relief, or finding relief. And maybe also like, if I think about I don't know, like, one moment. okay, this is maybe now like going more into my personal relationships at that time. And I mean, in the lessons before, I was really focused on, or very much focused on, like my own, like the things that I was doing and experiencing, and not so much on my relationship stuff or like family stuff. Yes, a little bit, because it's so influential, but nothing other than that so much. And when I think about like what gave me relief now, I think like when you really, I think that counts for a lot of things in life. When you're really desperate and you're really overwhelmed and scared and like really struggle a lot with yourself, like you often just look for just relief. And I think one of the things was also that I was really seeking connection with people where I felt like that I felt drawn to. I don't know if I could say it any other. And I was really really desperate for a connection, which, I mean, we're human and we all want connection, so it's very only natural, I think. And so I don't know, like I felt so like, because it really felt like this deep loneliness in my heart. And so I was like, okay, what can I do to feel less lonely and to feel more connected? And so I remember like going to visit my my aunt and her, like my cousins. They were like at her house at that time. And so I went there for a visit because I felt so alone here at home. And like all those family gatherings kind of felt like a relief for me that we had at that time. Like we often, with like my extended family, would in those years have, I don't know, like birthday of my grandpa, or the anniversary of my grandparents, or there was like a baptism of like my cousin's child, or so there was a lot of family stuff going on, and that felt kind of like connections, or like giving me relief a little bit, and like felt like something that I belonged to, just because I was me, and not because I was like doing some kind of study. Like when you study, you're like in this connection of, okay, you're study buddies. Or like when you're doing something else, like it's always this kind of group, and I didn't have that at all. So I was really yearning for a connection. So I had that with my family, I would say. Even though like they were also really struggling to understand me, I think most of them. And connecting with my siblings like was a giving me a sense of connection too, or talking to them about it. And just like if I think about therapy, like it often felt like while talking about my problems, I was thinking, okay, I need some like solution for this right now. Like I just need it. And then after the session, or like at the end of the session, we would come to the conclusion that it is okay, that it is the way that it is, and that like the most important thing was actually just to talk about it and to express it and to understand it in that way. And that's what made it, like, gave me a lot of relief. And it was so important and beautiful to just have a space where I could express myself and be held in that. And so it I would say it really, like, depression really broke me in the sense that it really broke this part of me, or really humbled so much. It humbled the part of me that wanted to strive and just wanted to get somewhere and just arrive at where I wanted to get, like really, really future and goal oriented. And that part was very much humbled over the time and kind of put on the back seat, so that it could learn that oftentimes the relief or the things that I'm striving for are actually much closer and easier to get to by being present with myself and just taking it step by step, and actually enjoying the process by bringing more beauty and more softness and more joy into very little moments or the small moments. And yeah, I was also really hanging on to, well, now this is a little bit tender, this topic, to a love relationship in that time. It's very interesting, like life is so, it's all so connected. Like I met this person like in the summer of 2018, while I was like already really, really deep in my struggle and really lost and really overwhelmed and feeling like, knowing that this is something big that I'm going through and that this needed a lot of time and a lot of care and attention, but I was really still struggling so much. And then this person really became also like kind of someone who, by like being connected with him, gave me a lot of relief and a lot of just helped me a lot, while also like our relationship was super turbulent and not very calm or stable at all. So it's kind of do you call it not ironic like interesting how it can be both, like helpful but also really not helpful at all. I don't know how much I can talk about, or how much it makes sense to talk about this now, because I don't know how much it connects with the lesson. I think this is all that I want to say about this right now. I hope that like my thoughts on this kind of made sense. And and maybe one more thing I want to say is that I think pain is such a huge generator or motivator for change. Like sadly often we wait until we're like really suffering and really in pain before we change something, or that's my experience. And I think this, all the pain and all the suffering that I was really carrying with me every single day, and this deep loneliness, just gave me a huge kind of motivation and push towards really building a life and creating a life that was really based on the things that were bringing me joy, making me feel calm, connected, peaceful, grounded, and really motivating me big time. And really maybe also like making this transition or this change much faster than if I hadn't suffered so much. And I think that's why now, like after this experience, I'm so much more aware and really intentional about how I spend my days. Like not to live so much in the future and the what ifs, but to really consider, okay, what is actually in my life right now, and what do I want, what do I not want, how do I like my days, and how what's bringing me joy, what's bringing me down. So it was a huge generator for change, and that's why I'm kind of grateful, because it really pushed me to get to know myself better, and to get to know the parts of me that knew how to bring light to my life. All right, okay, I think that's all that I have. Thanks so much for listening, and for spending this time with me talking about this lesson. And if there's anything you want to share about this topic, I'd be happy to hear about it in the comments. Or you can write me a message if you're on, I don't know, on other social media. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. I'm for sure going to go on a run or outside now, because it's so sunny and so beautiful outside. Oh, I've been really longing to go outside all day or all morning. Okay, see you next week, and all the best to you, and I just wish you all the best. Bye.